Voting by mail, an overview. In a vote-by-mail election, every eligible voter will automatically be mailed a ballot. So for this type of election, you don't have to apply for a ballot to receive one in the mail. This video will provide an overview of the process. In a vote-by-mail election, your ballot will be sent to the mailing address in your voter registration information. So it's important to always make sure that your information is up to date. When you get your ballot packet in the mail, first check to make sure you've received the following: the instructions for voting by mail, your ballot. Please note, your ballot has April 28, 2020 printed at the top because there wasn't enough time to reprint the ballots after the election was moved to June 2nd due to the coronavirus. The April date does not affect your ballot being counted. Next is your return envelope, a list of vote centers and ballot drop-off locations, and a form called Certification of Person Assisting Voter. Some voters may also get a request for Maryland driver's license or social security number form. The next step is to review your instructions to make sure you understand the process. Please note that you do not need stamps to mail your ballot back. Postage on the return envelope is already paid. Next, mark your ballot using a black pen and make sure to completely fill in the oval when you make a selection. Be careful not to overvote. Each contest indicates how many selections you can make, so make sure to review how many selections you can make before you mark each contest. If you need help marking your ballot, someone can certainly help you. However, the person cannot be a candidate on your ballot, your employer or an agent of your employer, or an officer or agent of your union. The person helping you cannot influence you or tell you how to vote. The person helping you will need to complete the Certification of Person Assisting Voter form. While marking your ballot, if you make a mistake, you can contact your local elections office and ask them to send you a new ballot. If you got a request for Maryland driver's license or social security number form, you'll need to complete this form and mail, not email, the form to your local election office separately from your ballot. So don't put it in your ballot envelope. If your local election office doesn't get this form, your ballot will not count. If you see ID required printed on your envelope, you will need to make a copy of your MVA-issued driver's license or ID and include it with your ballot documents. Or you can provide a document no older than 3 months that has your current address on it. Once you're done marking your ballot and filling out any requested forms, it's now time to make sure you have everything you need before you seal your envelope. In the envelope, please make sure to include your folded ballot. If someone helped you mark your ballot, include your completed Certification of Person Assisting Voter form. And if your envelope is labeled with ID required, include a copy of your ID or a document proving your current address mentioned earlier. If ID required is not on your envelope, you do not need to include a copy of your ID. And remember, if you had to complete a request for Maryland driver's license or social security number form, that form does not go in your return envelope. Make sure to mail it to your local election office separately. When sealing your envelope, we encourage you to use a wet sponge or cloth, but you can also use tape. Important: the next step is to make sure you sign and date the oath of absentee voter on the back of the return envelope. If you don't sign the oath, your ballot will not count. When you're ready, there are 2 ways to return your ballot. If you mail your ballot, it must be postmarked on or before 8 p.m. Election Day and arrive at your local election office by 10 a.m. on the second Friday after Election Day. Remember, if you mail your ballot, you do not need postage on your return envelope because postage is already paid. If you decide to drop off your ballot, it must be dropped off at one of the drop-off locations by 8 p.m. on Election Day. If you are overseas, use a military post office or mail your ballot from an embassy or consulate. You do not need postage on your envelope. However, if you mail your ballot using a foreign mail service, you will need to put enough postage on your envelope to get it into the U.S. postal system. And remember, you cannot return your ballot by fax or email. If you email or fax your voted ballot, it will not count. After you mail or drop off your ballot, you can check the status of your ballot to see if it was received by visiting our voter lookup site at voterservices.elections.maryland.gov/voter search. Please note that many ballots could be coming in at the same time, so it may take a little while for it to be processed with all of the others and for your status to be updated online. So that's it? Not quite. Your ballot will automatically be mailed to the mailing address in your registration information. But what if you'd like your ballot to go to another address? You can contact your local election office, or you can go to elections.maryland.gov and select Request a Ballot. Or, if you prefer, you can download and print a fillable PDF application at elections.maryland.gov/voting/absentee. On the application, you can indicate where you want your ballot sent. Then, complete and submit the form with your updated information by the May 27th registration deadline. You can also request to receive your ballot electronically, also known as internet delivery. Our online ballot delivery system features an accessible online ballot marking tool that allows you to mark your ballot online privately and secretly. Please note, if you request to receive a ballot by internet delivery, you will be emailed a link to access and download your blank ballot using our online ballot delivery system. However, a ballot received by internet delivery will still need to be printed and mailed or dropped off at one of the drop-off locations. Voted ballots cannot be returned by email or fax. If you return your ballot by email or fax, it will not count. So if you'd like to receive your ballot electronically, email absentee.sbe@maryland.gov. So that's a quick overview of the vote by mail process. If you have any questions, you can contact your local election office. Their contact information is listed on our website at elections.maryland.gov, or you can contact us at 1-800-222-8683 or email us at info.sbe@maryland.gov. Thank you.